Hello, 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 everybody. It's 6 o'clock, and I'm here to talk about the. Sorry, Kit Kat is like right off camera, trying like threatening to destroy this whole live. uh, Kit Kat is my cat, of course, the dog training cat, as we call him around here. So today, I wanted to jump on and talk to you about the three biggest myths that you guys are being sold. And I talk to so many of you guys that, and this comes up like repeatedly, constantly. So I wanted to jump on to address some of this stuff with you, because when I talk to you, some of you guys, it like, and you've talked to other trainers and stuff like that, which I appreciate. Like, I want you to, like, I don't work with people that are not fuck yeses. So I want you to be doing your homework and stuff like that. But what I hear sometimes really like, pisses me off. So I wanted to give you guys some, I guess, hope that you're not totally screwed and your dog's not like, this broken machine that cannot be fixed. So one of the, and if I have time afterwards, I'll answer some questions as well. About whatever. So the number one myth of the industry is that you need a lot of time to train your dog. And that is just false. The time commitment, yes, there is a time commitment. There is a financial commitment, but what it comes down to is you should not be practicing anything with your dog for 30 minutes a day, unless you're going into like competition or, something like that. I don't even have my service dogs, excuse me. I don't even have my service dogs practicing for 30 minutes a day. It's just too much. It gets boring for both you and your dog. I mean, practicing like a sit and stay for a half hour a day is like mind numbing, even to think about. So it gets boring, and I want both of you and your dog to be excited about this stuff. I want you like leaving your training sessions jazzed for the next one. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to practice that thing again. That's how I need your dog to feel. I don't want your dog to feel like when you get the leash and collar and all that stuff out, that your dog's going, oh, fuck, I got to do this thing again. And it can happen. You can pattern like that the training actually becomes like a thing that the dog wants to avoid. And you do that by overtraining. It's really easy to overtrain your dog. So, I want you guys to both have that feeling of, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this next thing to happen. And because as you're going through, at least the programs with me, like it's just like fitting like puzzle pieces together. So I give you all the pieces, and I'm like, now you have to just practice this one thing. It's not. And there's Kit Kat. I told you she was wanting to destroy this whole thing. She just totally made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, the excitement part of it. It's so, so, so important that your dog's excited to learn and excited to work with you, instead of like, oh man, we got to do this thing again. And then like, they have no concept of time. Like, this thing's gonna last forever, right? So hi Kit Kat. Hi Kit Kat. So another reason for the time thing is like dogs and humans can both suffer from, what is called decision fatigue. So every time that your dog has to make a decision to follow through on a command or something like that, that's like a notch. Even though if the dog knows how to do it, the dog still has to make the decision to do it. So if you're wasting all of those decisions in one 30-minute session, it's just too much. Like if you go to practice, and what I teach more of is like the real life. So the real life training, your lifestyle training, I want this all to fit in to how you live your life in particular, not the way I think you should be living your life, the way your life actually runs. Most of the people I work with anyway are really busy people. they don't have time first to sit and first meet with me for an hour a week. That's a big time commitment. But also then to go like, okay, you have to now practice for 30 minutes a day. Like, it's just mind-numbingly boring for everybody. So the lifestyle part of it, that's more real to life, what happens after we work together. You know, you're not going to have me, you know, whatever program, unless you're in my mastermind where you just get, you know, access to me all the time. Well, not all the time, but access to me more. Unless you're in that, you're not getting like the after the training happens, like, what now? That's my job, to prepare you for that. So I don't get a whole lot of people coming back to me like, oh, my dog's doing this now, like all of a sudden. My job is to give you the tools to be able to make those problem solving decisions like right away. And it's because it's just mixed into the way you live your life already. So the time commitment is a big thing that the industry kind of like pushes out there. Like, if you're not working with your dog 30 minutes a day, you're a piece of shit, and you gotta, you know, it's all gonna fall apart. And it's just not true. So that is the first myth that I see in the industry. The second myth that, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, but this one really like gets under my skin, so I wanted to mention it again. And that is what I call the 5 commandments. Haha, get it? Commandments. And that is your heel, sit, down, stay, come. Something that, you know, well, not every one of them, but most dog trainers are going to tell you that that's the crux of everything. Like, if your dog doesn't know how to sit and stay, that, you know, somehow it's a bad dog or something. You know, it's really weird, that the dynamic there. But, you know, they have to sell programs as well. But the thing about the commandments is that they're not the deciding factor of behavior. Dog behavior is a very dynamic entity. So your dog can be sitting and staying, but still be sitting there like totally agitated and totally like, you know, I'm gonna pounce at any minute, but they're sitting. So it doesn't connect with them what you're actually wanting them to do. So I've seen so many dogs come to me after training with someone else, and they execute the commands flawlessly. They'll do the heel, the sits, and the downs, and the comes, and even place. They'll do all that, but their emotional state, their state of mind was never addressed. So they're just kind of like, it's almost like looking at a prisoner. Like, they're in this kind of like the spot where like, okay, I know I have to do this, but their brain's going like, do this. It's especially important with like fearful dogs, or really over aroused dogs, or like reactive dogs. Like, I see them do it all the time, but the problem is like the underlying root cause of it, which is their state of mind, was never addressed. So that's super important. Just because your dog is learning commands does not mean that your dog is learning to cope with stress or learning to manage their emotions. And that's something that we're not taught even as humans most of the time. I wish they would teach that stuff in school, but they just don't. But it's almost like, you know, we're taking away that what I feel is their right to control their environment and make the right decisions. Yeah, we have to teach them how to do that appropriately, but it has very little to do with heel and sit and stay. So if they never learn how to cope with their emotions, or manage their emotions, or cope with stress, and you see this in humans all the time. Like, I'm sure you've seen people out and about that you're just like, whoa, that person's like way too much. You can feel their energy. And if you've been doing, you know, training long enough, or even if you've had a really super bonded dog to you, one that just like feeds off of everything, that can be really detrimental to your relationship. So it's such a gift to teach them that they have a state of mind. Just even that one part of what Zen Dog teaches is such a gift, and I want it in everybody's hands. Like, I think this would keep dogs out of shelters and in your home where they should be. Just that one part of it. I really think it's a gift, because I've had students that that have really, gone through, and this was like one of the deciding factors of bringing Zen Dog into like the interwebs, into everyone's hands, and really make it affordable, so you don't have to spend the thousands of dollars to work with me, because we'll get partway through it, through the program that they bought, and I've had a lot of people realize that, okay, this stuff is not addressing the underlying behavior. Because it's one thing, it's just like dogs. I can teach, or I can tell you, but I can't make you do it. Same thing with dogs. Like, we could tell them what to do, but I guess with dogs, we could make them do it, but that's kind of a dick thing to do. We want them to do it for us. We want them to do it excitingly. We want to feel like a team with them. So it's especially important when you have that super bonded dog that will change states of mind with you and just feed off of your state of mind. It's a really big gift to be able to teach them that they can make a different decision. So a lot of people are just like, I don't necessarily want to heel. I just want my dog not to pull on the leash. So, and I see so many dogs that will perform, and that's what I call it now, performing a heel, and be totally disengaged. So that kind of negates half of the walk, because part of the reason for a walk is so that you guys can connect and you guys can bond and you guys can feel like that team, because it's so important for the dog. Like, that's part of a dog's DNA, is to walk as a pack. So if they're totally disengaged with you, you're missing out on a big gift there, and a big, well, I wouldn't say big, but it's a really easy way to kind of figure stuff out without having to be like super confrontational and like super like rah, 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 I don't do that stuff anymore either. But so the 5 commandments, this thought that you have to teach your dog these 5 things, and then poof, your dog's just going to be like a dream dog, without ever addressing state of mind, and without ever teaching you to problem solve it. It's kind of like, a quarter of what you could be experiencing with your dog. So that's number 2, the 5 commandments. So before I get to the big one, that's like the number 3, the big one. I'll try not to get too ranty about it, but the Zen Dog, for those of you interested in Zen Dog, it's a way to, like I was saying, to teach your dog to manage their emotions and cope with the stress in that baseline of a being. Like, Zen Dog is a way of being. So I can't teach you that in an hour a week, right in front of you, because it's a different dynamic, which I'll get into if you have questions about that. But state of mind is the root of all issues, pretty much. Like I was saying, behavior is a very dynamic concept. And dogs are dynamic in the way that they express that, and there's some part of it that is like, what's the breed of the dog? There's certain genetic predispositions, but at the end of it, all dogs can and should be able to control their own state of mind and manage their own emotions. Like, that's the root of most behavior issues that I see. And most behavior issues that I've seen, like when I was when I was working in shelters and stuff like that, it's all state of mind stuff. It's nobody ever taught these guys how to do that, or even like giving them the respect of like, I'm going to give you the tools, but you can make your own decision in this environment. And the way that Zen dog is taught, it's really, and I hear this feedback from clients all the time, like it didn't just affect their training or their relationship with their dog. It affects your relationship with all your other relationships in your life, because your dog is just another relationship. So some of the same stuff pops up in different areas of your relationship, whether that's the relationship with your significant other, your parents, your siblings, your friends. Like, it's amazing how it kind of mirrors itself. It's just working through it with your dog is way easier than working through it with, say like a sibling or something like that. But if you have problems setting boundaries with your dog, you're probably more than likely, I'm not saying this is an absolute fact, but more than likely, you probably have problems setting boundaries with the people that you love the most. Or another big one that a lot of people come to me with is like they feel guilty or don't want to tell their dog no. Well, that's a huge problem, because that's life. Like, if you're sacrificing that, and it's very powerful, the word no. If you're sacrificing that, if you feel guilty about putting a boundary on somebody or your dog, or saying no to someone or your dog, just think about it. You don't have to, write it here, but just think about the parallels there. Does that show up in your life at all? If it does, then Zen Dog is going to be awesome for you, because you get to work through it in that capacity. So you don't have to like feel confrontational with the people with the humans in your life, and you don't have to feel confrontational with your dog in your life either. That's the exact opposite of what we're looking for. So Zen Dog is that's what it's all about. It's it's really deep work on just a deeper level that you can't get through like heel, sit, and the commandments, And it's really understanding your dog on a deep level, understanding your patterns on a deeper level, because it all shows up. So whether you're going to work on it or not is totally up to you. So I think that's all I wanted to say about Zen Dog. Number 3, the biggest myth that I see in this industry is that you absolutely need a fancy dog trainer in your home. Like, you can't do this stuff without a dog trainer. You can't do this stuff without a dog trainer. And that's somewhat true, but somewhat not. I mean, you definitely can pay me thousands of dollars to come to your house and do this stuff live with you. But most people can't do that. And it's my mission. I want every dog on this earth to learn this stuff, and I want every human on this earth to learn this stuff, because it's that powerful. But you can pay me those thousands of dollars, sure, I'll take it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say no to that. Well, as long as you live close. I have a lot of stipulations to my private sessions, but the unavoidable fact, or the inconvenient truth, shall I say, is that 95% of the time, your dog is going to act differently in front of me. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, or ways around it. And it's because I've been doing this for almost 19 years. So I know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm only there for an hour a week. So of course your dog's not going to get away with anything in front of me. So in my private sessions, I work them in a way where it still sets that person up for that long-term, super long-term success. But Zen Dog is just something that it's more of a way of being. Now, I can't help but teach Zen Dog. That it's literally everyone that works with me now gets Zen Dog. Because it's that impactful. It's that way of being. But the really super good results with it, I just can't give you that in an hour a week, because what you're going to need the most, and what every dog trainer provides you, the value that they provide the most for you, is their feedback. I just have 19 years of, there's not I'm not going to say there's nothing that I haven't seen, but there's not much that I haven't seen as far as circumstances and behaviors and all that stuff. So we get to pivot very, very, very quickly in this program. And that is super important for you so that you're not wasting your time. You're not getting frustrated. Your dog's not getting frustrated. That's what I see the most. But your dog's behavior is more about how you're reacting to stuff and how you see stuff. And like I said yesterday, it's so much of it is what you believe your dog can do. So you guys going through that as a team is what's going to let you have those super long lasting results. Like I have clients that, they'll because I keep in contact with a lot of my clients because I don't work with shitty people anymore. I don't have to because I own my own business. So that's a bonus for me. Also a bonus for you guys. But the stuff that you believe that your dog is capable of, some stuff you're only going to be able to know that on a very deep level if you're going through it with your dog. So you guys are having those successes together. You guys are having those failures together. And with me there, you just get to pivot like very, very, very quickly. Because I've just been doing this so long, I can look at a minute long video and know exactly what you need to change, exactly where we need to pivot and what needs to happen next. That's one of the big benefits of Zen Dog. My hair's driving me crazy. I'm just going to put it up. So the other part to the myth that you need a trainer right in front of you all the time, or you need the trainer to do it for you, which is, I don't even do that anymore. Like I won't take on a client that just wants it done for them because it never lasts that long. And then the dog is the one who suffers, really. So I think that's a whole different life. So it's my job to teach you how to problem solve what's going on and what you're seeing and interpret what you're seeing, help you interpret what you're seeing correctly. Because you could be practicing the wrong thing for weeks on end. But like a lot of my clients will come back when I talk to them and be like, oh, like, I just got a new dog. Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Like one of my clients, Tracy, like a couple months ago, she went through that. She ended up with another dog and she's like, of course. I'm like, if you need me, I'm here. But I knew she didn't need me. And she also, and a couple of days later, she's like, oh, I already knew everything from training Brandy. I didn't need you at all, which was awesome. A little bit of an ego thing. Like during this whole transition, it's been this like, oh, people are having really good results without me right there in front of them, because then there's an added pressure from your dog and you. But because all the training is like like I was saying yesterday, like training is so much about the micro moments, and I just can't be there 24 hours a day in any program. So if you're not learning to problem solve in those micro moments, or learning what to do in those micro moments, or even that it is a micro moment that you should be addressing, like that even in of itself is huge. So I don't expect you to be able to do what I can do in an hour. It's not, that'd be like my accountant being like, why can't you do your taxes in an hour? Well, she totally can, that's why I hire an accountant. So it's really like going through it, like I was saying, going through it with your dog is that it's a gift to be able to bond on this deeper level that not many other people are talking about or teaching for that matter. And I think I'm going to do another live for you guys on Friday about how this even came about, and because something really life-changing happened to me, and I'd like to share that with you guys on Friday because it directly relates to how your dog sees it. Because just like just like I was saying in the group the other day, like my whole vacation, like I was like, and this applies to your dog, and this applies to your dog, just the way my brain works. But I believe that dogs they are capable and they have the ability to make their own decisions and control their environment. Sure, they have to be taught sometimes, they have to be taught what that looks like and what that feels like. Because, and that's another thing, like you have to teach your dog what this stuff feels like. So, teaming up with your dog to go through life together like that is like, it's just such a gift. Like I said, I want it in everybody's hands. That's why I'm releasing it again. Because I see, hey, Kay, how are you? I see the difference that it can make. So I mean, just imagine like in 8 weeks, what it would feel like to not have to worry about how your dog's going to react to a situation, any situation. To see your dog excited to learn and to, work as a team, because once again, that is how their brain is wired to go through life, as a team, as a pack. So if you're not taking care of that in your role as a guardian, if you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not making that a priority, then you're not having as good as a relationship with your dog as you could. Imagine not having to like yell at your dog all the time. That's a huge thing when I get to people like, they're like, well, what are you doing to correct your dog? And they're like, I yell. I'm like, that's just like your dog's going like, oh, sweet. Are we yelling now? Are we playing? Awesome. Let's amplify all of this stuff. It's so funny. I want you to be able to just communicate with your dog like you communicate with everybody. So, and that super, super deep connection is really what this program is at the core of this program. The deep connection, the deep respect, just the deeper things all the way around. It really transforms both the humans and dogs that go through this program. Because really, I mean, your dog's not broken, your relationship may be broken, but your dog's not broken. I hear that as well a lot. So this is kind of like your opportunity. And this is something that I joke with my clients about as well. Like my private clients is like, they all just wish they would have like a cardboard cutout of me in their house because their dog listens like when I'm around, like I was saying. And like when I leave, it's like, oh, okay, it's different. So this is like having your cardboard cutout of me in your house. And if some of my clients watch this later, it's funny because I do say that a lot to my clients. And they're like, I need one, like not in a creepy way, because how creepy would that be? You wake up in the middle of the night and you see me standing there going like, no. But this is your opportunity to have that without the creepiness of actually having me in there. So yeah, so now I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but now you have like 3 choices. Doors on Zen Dog closes Saturday. I have 8 more spots available in the program. 3 of the first 3 people that sign up get an extra private session with me. So it's a private strategy session for me to get in your house. It's over Zoom because once again, your dog acts differently when I'm not there. And this is what allows me, like, it doesn't matter where you live in this program either. I have clients all over the United States in this program. So don't think that location is fuck it. Don't think location is a barrier to this, because even if you lived right next door to me, the program would still work the same way for a reason. It's very intentional, but you still have that access to pivot quickly. But so now we're just left with the 3 choices. You can either pay me the fancy dog trainer fee, as I call it, and if I have 1 private session open right now. If you're local, I have 1 of those available because I keep those very, very low for my schedule. Or you can keep taking the bits and pieces from YouTube and Caesar Milan and all the stuff and the things and trying to put them together. But that's the problem. Like, you guys need feedback. You guys need the feedback in your situation. You need me reaching into your situation and going, boop, boop, boop. That's it, that's it, that's it. You know, and a lot of this stuff isn't earth-shattering. A lot of this stuff are minor changes in the way that you're relating or what you're teaching. So your third option is to just join ZenDog, quite frankly. You know, you can join ZenDog and follow this predetermined, proven strategy, proven protocol, proven like for years now, over and over and over and over again, with the live coaching, with the live feedback. And one of the most important parts and one of the coolest parts to me in this group is the group of amazing connected people. Because like I said, I just don't work with dickheads anymore. So the group that come together in this program are like every time I'm just like, damn, I'm so lucky as a facilitator to be able to work with these people on this level, because it's not like your surface level shit. Like, sometimes we get that shovel out and we go, ooh, what's under there? Ooh, what's under there? What's under there? And that's because like the relationship part of it is so important. And that's why I went and I got my certification as a relationship coach. And I don't want to work with people. I don't want like couples. I wanted to like the relationship with your dog. So, but having that qualification is huge, because you're very well cared for, and I can nurture you in that way. And everyone's going through the same stuff and learning the same stuff, and you're learning from them. And then like people are like hanging out together and all this stuff. It's such a cool little community that I get to create through this program. It's awesome. So that is my talk for today. Does anyone have any questions about it? I was going to do a Q&A because I do have some questions about it. But we're already at 30 minutes, and I don't want to take up that much of your time, and I'm hungry as hell. So if you want more details on it, you know, leave me a message under this video, or you can Facebook Messenger me, or you can send a carrier pigeon to me. Whatever we need to do to get you in this program, you know, we can. If you're not sure if it's a really good fit still, you know, contact me and we can talk about it. We can see if it is indeed a good fit or not, because there's been a couple people already where I'm like, it's just not a good fit for different reasons. But this is not, I'll just say this is not a program for like super duper aggressive dogs. It can be worked through this protocol, but it just takes a lot longer than 8 weeks. So if it like, and that's just in particular the super aggressive, whether that's human or dog, it's just not appropriate and I'm talking super aggressive, but a little aggression here and there, you know, it sounds so weird to say that, but all right. So yeah, answer my question. Leave me a question if you have one. I'll get to it as soon as I can. And but I think I'll come on Friday and talk about how the whole thing came about, and how a life-changing event in my life actually made this front and center, really understanding things from this level. And then I'll do the Q&A on Friday. But reminder, the first 3 people get that extra private call with me. So if you want that, get a hold of me right away. We'll get you in there. And if you were a previous client of mine, you get a discount as well. So let me know, guys. And I will definitely see you on Friday. I think I'm going to drop something in here tomorrow as well. That's super cool. Like some of the results that I've gotten from ZenDog. So, all right, guys, have an awesome night. I will talk to you soon. Bye.